We're joined now by Steve Gulley, who is the head coach for cross country at the University of Tulsa, also indoor and outdoor track and field. And Coach, obviously COVID has had its impact. You didn't perform in the fall in cross country, and now here we are to the American Athletic Conference Championships in Wichita coming up on Saturday, the 6th of February. And it's your first race. Boy, it's crazy, but it is what it is, right?
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of kids that haven't raced for a year and a half. So, and then not have, to be safe, we chose not to run a pre-meet before the conference. I hope it was a good decision. But yes, you're running your first race, and it's for all the marbles. It's quite a setup, I guess, right now.
Now, the other teams, and you can't speak for them, but do the other teams get any pre-work in terms of some meets maybe or not?
I think there was a meet last week at Wichita, and we saw Temple, Cincinnati, and Wichita are the only three teams that I've seen so far that have run. Possibility some of the Florida schools have possibly run. But no, I think most of us are circling the conference meet as the first meet we're going to run in cross country, and we're doing this at the same time with the indoor season.
Yeah, and of course you've won every American Athletic Conference championship in cross country since we've joined the league on the men's side, and certainly you have a lot of guys back. So I mean, you feel pretty good about it, but still there are so many unknowns, aren't there?
There's so many unknowns. You don't know the weather because nobody's ever raced in February for cross country. But yes, we return a lot of athletes with a lot of experience. I'm very, very fortunate because I know I've not been in this case all the time. But but it's still first race. You don't know what's going through their minds. You don't know the conditions, and we don't know what the other teams are bringing to the table.
Yeah. And how did you handle COVID? What were the aspects? I mean, a lot of people might say, hey, you're outside, you don't have to worry about it, but you certainly had to deal with a lot.
It is. We actually have separated the men, the women completely from practices, travel, everything. We use separate facilities. We practice at separate times. We hadn't even seen it. So we missed the unity that we have with the men and the women, but we've done the best job we can. And the key is we probably have been a little bit more conservative and a little bit of safer approach to it and not as aggressive because we can't afford to have anybody go down at this point.
And there is a situation where, you might think everybody just goes out there and runs and there's no teamwork involved, but there really is teamwork involved. And so that's something where guys have to communicate with each other, and there is that synergy, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a big situation, and we consider it a team sport. And we have separated, and we even trained them in groups, or groups or pods. I don't know how different coaches want to go about it, but I don't think it's the same. It's the weirdest year you've ever gone through. We've never run in the second semester for cross country, so it's something brand new.
And on the ladies' side, you are defending the American Athletic Conference Championship, so it'd be really good to continue some momentum there, right?
It would be great if we could do that. So we're same thing. We lost, I think, 3 of our top 7. So it's going to be an interesting race. We're just going to go out and do the best job we can and hope for the best.
And in this weekend of cross country, the championships in Wichita, you also have an indoor track meet in Wichita. So Friday the 5th and then the 6th on Saturday, you've got kind of double header, if you will, but the indoor season is something you have to pay attention to as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm excited for the track kids. They did run indoor last year, but they didn't get to run outdoor. So we are starting off technically indoor before we even run the cross country. So that's a little backwards. Yeah. But I think the kids are excited. We'll be holding some kids out because the kids are running cross country. We normally run track. So you're going to see a different group, maybe a little bit more jumpers, the first meet at Wichita, and a little bit more sprinters. We do have some distance runners that are running, but I think we're just so happy to get back in competing. We're probably in the same boat as everybody else, but there's other teams that have already run some indoor meets.
Coach Gulley, the regionals or sectionals, whatever you want to call it, are non-existent this year. Is that correct? So if you win the American, does that automatically put you in the NCAAs, or is it a situation where they kind of look at all the body of work and that kind of thing?
I think they're going to look at a body of work. There's no easy route to the NCAAs this year. They eliminated the regionals, so if you win the conference, maybe that's the first step, but I think you have to show a body of work to get invited to the NCAA championships, which will be in Stillwater on March 15th. We'll have to take that step. Right now, I think we're just circling the conference meet, and we're looking at what are we going to do next week and go from there.
Okay, so the big question is you don't have a body of work for a year and a half. So I mean, you have a conference meet, and then perhaps you might cobble together something in between. But you've got to show in one day kind of what you can do, and maybe do they look on past history or what?
No, I think they can take past history. Actually, I can't answer that question because I don't know what the committee's thinking.
Right.
But I think we have to run the conference meet, and then we can go from there and see if you can still have meets right after the conference. Is that unusual? Yes, usually the highlights the conference meet.
Right.
But we're probably just focusing right now. Let's take it one day at a time. We'll take the conference meet, figure that, sit down, and see is the team good enough to be at the NCAA championships, or do we just go ahead and drop in like a lot of teams may and just say, okay, let's get going on indoors and outdoors. I don't know. We'll find out next Saturday how good we are.
With 3 sports going at once, is this the busiest you've ever been?
It truly is, because you think about it, we're coaching 6 sports in one semester. Right. So, and people don't consider the travels are the most difficult part, because you're trying to keep these athletes safe. And you're just, it's kind of like you're very conservative right now. You can't go all out at it because you got to get them there healthy, and you got to hope that they're healthy at the time of the races.
Yeah, well, try to navigate it, Coach. Appreciate it, and good luck up in Wichita, and then we'll see where the chips fall after that. Then.
Okay, appreciate it.
Head Coach Steve Gulley, University of Tulsa cross country, indoor track and outdoor track.